Hey guys, today's video is going to be about how to find clients. I know this is a really popular subject with a lot of people. We're going to look at this and, at several stages of acquiring clients and keeping them and just, keeping that momentum going when you do actually get started with, your pro photography journey. We're going to be covering outreach, advertising, which is kind of, all of this stuff is kind of related. And these things work together. Talk a little bit about free shoots, which is not quite the same as finding clients, but it can certainly lead to clients. We'll get into that. And somewhat connected to all of this is repeat business and referrals. And so let's get started with this first section about outreach. Now, outreach is something that I look at as any action that you're doing that is just basically trying to contact people and let them know what you're wanting to do, that you are offering certain type of service, in this case, portrait photography. What you're going to do with, as far as outreach goes, is you're going to talk to friends and family, definitely your personal network, anybody you know that you can just contact casually, in person, on the phone, whatever. Send messages to, a quick email. Basically, let them know. It's as simple as this. I'm available if you need blank, okay? And this could be family portraits, headshots, biopics. People have jobs or they want to post stuff on their online, their platforms and stuff like that. Like lots of times you might get requests for people who want something for their Indeed profile, something like that. Families often want senior portraits, kids graduating from high school, moving into college. Anything goes. Pet portraits, boudoir photos. And boudoir photos might be something that you're not going to do with family, but maybe somebody has a friend who's been wanting something like that and basically say, hey, I know how to do that. I'm available, good at it. Here's my price. And just remember, when you're doing this for friends and family, think of it like this. This is a business. It's not a hobby, okay? Price accordingly. Deal with people in that way. Also set clear boundaries and expectations, because lots of times when you're dealing with friends and family, people might, want to take a little advantage. You don't want that to happen. I mean, it's only natural. You have a close friend or somebody in your family. They don't know what all is involved with your photography. They don't know how many hours you're going to put into it. It's not just clicking that button on the camera. It's all the other stuff that goes with it. There's the pre-planning, there's the communication aspect. This is business. Check out my free guide that'll teach you how to put together your own off-camera flash setup. It's called the 10-Minute Guide to Off-Camera Flash, and it'll get you on the fast track to taking amazing portraits with your flash. This free bonus bundle also includes the very handy camera bag checklist, photo shoot notebook sheets, and a couple of model release templates that I use for my portrait shoots. You can get all of this for free right now by clicking the link in the video description below. Okay, next, advertising. Now you're going to spend some money. Not necessarily. Sometimes advertising can be anything. Even outreach is kind of like advertising, all right? So this is stuff you're going to do on Facebook and Instagram, basically meta ads, if you're going to go in that direction, post things on Indeed. I would caution you not to just jump into spending a lot of money on advertising, especially at first. Eventually this is something you're not going to want to do. You're not going to want to spend money on advertising. Everything's going to come down to just networking and referrals and just repeat business and things like that. I'm including it here because it involves more than just buying ads on Facebook. Okay, so there's website and portfolio. Those are you explaining what you do and showing off what you do. And that's a form of advertising. Okay. You want to post things on social media. So you've got that organic versus paid advertising working for you. Definitely get that going and do it wisely. Don't be too silly. Also, don't do it too casually. I mean, this is something that you're going to learn by doing. Just need to get a feel for it. And as you go, you're going to know what works, what doesn't work. Just definitely keep it professional. I see a lot of people mixing personal and professional on the same Facebook page. Probably want to get a Facebook page just dedicated to your photography. Try to keep your professional presence separate from family stuff, because it doesn't go together and it doesn't really scream professionalism. And after all, if you're in this to make money, it's a business, so treat it as such. Like I said, you're going to be learning about self-promotion as you go along. You want to stay on brand, personal versus professional. Let people share what you've done for them, whether you've It paid you a little money, whatever. Don't be, too precious with your photos. Let people share, definitely with credit, because if, you want other people to know, like if you got pictures out there, you're proud of them. You want other people to know who did those shots, because maybe you're going to be the next person they call. Lots of times people just ask, "Hey, who took your pictures?" And your whoever you shot these pictures for is going to tell them, "Hey, yeah, this is my photographer. Definitely get a hold of him." All right, next on the list, talk about free shoots real quick. Okay, you could be this guy. No, I don't pick up the camera unless I'm getting paid. Not going to do anything for free. I only work for money. Years ago, there was this harsh rant by a Hollywood screenwriter named Harlan Ellison. And a few years ago, this really caught on with the photography crowd because, he just lots of colorful language just to say, I don't work for free. Never work for free. You're a sucker if you work for free. Well, that's fine if you've got your career on track and you've got like a catalog of excellent work behind you and you're just rolling. Of course, don't work for free, I guess. If you don't write because you love to write, you write for money. That's fine. This is photography. When you're getting started, you're going to do some free stuff. I did. It worked out fine for me. All right, so why would you do free stuff? Why do you want to be this guy, the smiling guy with the camera? Okay, because you maybe need practice. Maybe you need overall practice. Maybe you're just not quite there yet. You're going to do some free shoots. That's fine. Maybe you just need some practice in a particular genre. I needed a little practice before I really took on boudoir as kind of like a paying thing. I was good at shooting weddings, regular portraits, and headshots. Did a few free boudoir shots for some people I knew. And once I knew what I was doing, then I started charging for it. All right. Oh, another reason, you're building a portfolio. You're just getting started. You want to pick some of the people who are going to be in your portfolio. So you might, be looking for some independent models who have this look that you want. Kind of be careful with that. You don't want to get stuck with a bunch of people who kind of look like independent models. You want people who look like regular people who look like the clients that you're trying to attract. You're going to do some free shoots, maybe for friends and family, people who just are going to look good in your portfolio and going to work with you. Spec work. Sometimes you might want to shoot something without charging. I don't know, maybe you do product photography. I've got a little story for you that I'm going to share in a second about doing some spec work in the music industry, which worked out quite well for me. Maybe you have a hunch about doing something, want to take some pictures. Maybe you think it'll lead to something bigger and more lucrative. If you see an opportunity, definitely take it. And maybe there's personal reasons. Maybe it's not about money or business. You're shooting for free because you have your reasons. You have your own reasons why you want to do that. Maybe you just want to help somebody out. Look, you say free shoots, and you're going to ask yourself, is there value in this? Because I think that there's potentially value in anything, even if money is not changing hands. And if you can find true value in what you're doing, then go for it. I personally will default to no on just about everything before I come around to saying yes. So even if it's just in my head, maybe you want to take on that kind of position. People will ask you for photos all the time. Default to no or some reason why you can't do it for free, but be flexible because sometimes it might be the best option for you. You're the boss. Don't let other people tell you how you should run your own business or your own hobby or your own career, whatever. You run you. You're your own, the CEO of your own life. You decide whether you want to shoot for free sometimes or not. You don't have to be this guy. Like I said, I wasn't this guy. I was more like this guy. Things worked out for me. Just don't be a doormat. You'll be fine. All right, finally, repeat business and referral business. This is the big win. This is how you want to end up. This is how you get started over here. Maybe a couple of clients. One client pays you and they really like your work. They know somebody, they pay you, and so on and so on. Everybody's got a network. So you've got this person who referred you to this person. This person knows several people. They all become customers. Maybe another person that you shot only had like a small network. Maybe they, mentioned you to a couple of friends. Maybe you get some business there. And then maybe, who knows, maybe this lady over here can hook you up with a bunch of people over there. All right. So here's a few examples from my past. I'm sure there's a lot more, but this is the stuff that I came up with kind of off the top of my head. I shot my first wedding years and years ago for $500. I think that who I did it for knew that it was my first wedding. They didn't have a problem with it. It's very casual, kind of more of an outdoor thing by a pool, and it was really pretty and everything. Lots of nice looking people. It served me well to shoot that wedding for a mere $500. Later, that same couple hired me to shoot their infant pictures of their new baby, and then toddler photos as time went on. And this particular client was uh, a manager at an apartment complex or two, and she hired me to do that stuff, even though that wasn't kind of in my wheelhouse. It was money. It was an easy shoot, and that was cool. That was cool of her to do that. But yeah, I can start off here, and it doesn't mean that that's where you end. It doesn't pigeonhole you necessarily. That's all up to you. All right, another thing. Go to this one first. I was doing some photography for some local publications. There was a young editor who hired me after I did some photos for her and, shot a lot of photos for the magazine that she was working with. She hired me for family photos. She just really liked my work. We did a lot of that stuff. I did her professional bio. Anyway, while publications don't pay a lot, the work that it led to did pay. And of course, once you start working for people directly like this, just for their own use, they can refer you to other people. And that definitely happened. So that just went on and on. I mean, I stop at number 3 here, but that line of referrals just continued. And that is not uncommon. Or this here is a pretty cool one, live music. I went to a show uninvited, just showed up. Now, a lot of musicians did ask me to show up to their shows and do photos. Lots of times they weren't offering to pay, but hey, you can come to the club. I'll put you on the guest list. You come for free. I turned most of those down. Once in a while, I said, okay, this particular night, I had my wife drop me off, and I shot some pictures of a band called Asleep at the Wheel. They're a big band in Texas. Actually, what happened that night, I wasn't getting any good shots for quite a while, and it kind of surprised me. I looked down at my camera and I looked at some of the shots I've been taking, and I said, this just isn't happening. For some reason, that happens sometimes. You just go to a show and it just doesn't click. I fought my way through it, eventually got some good photos. I posted them up. I sent them kind of as oh, hey guys, here's some pictures that I shot of you the other night. And they really liked them. That turned into some licensing. They contacted me, said, hey, we're putting out a couple of CDs. Can we license some of these photos from you? Of course, I said yes. I did various promotional shots for them. I even took this one photo of Ray Benson, who really heads up the whole Asleep at the Wheel thing. And we took some shots over at his studio, and one of those became this really cool life-size cutout. Now, Ray Benson's this really tall guy. He's a big guy. So a life-size cutout is kind of big too. So that ended up at the airport in Austin, Texas, and I believe it's still there. It's been there for years. So even after that, that turned into some album covers for some other people, because the person who designed his album cover was really connected, of course, to a lot of other people because he did designing for other artists. And so I got to do some other album covers after that. Of course, all of this led to just credibility with other artists and celebrities, things like that. So that, of course, led to more opportunities, which is really cool. When you're doing something like this, just working in various ways, just keeping, just being available and open to opportunities, lots of things can happen. And like I was talking about here, lots of things, everything seems to work together because one person knows another person. You do something for this guy over here, and then they refer you to that guy over there. The main takeaway from this is, and going back to that free photography, free shoots thing, just make good choices, spend your time wisely, always keep your eye on the ball. This is a business after all. So just make sure that you're taking care of business. And yeah, sometimes things are going to work out really great, and you'll find unexpected opportunities and, unexpected referrals. And one small thing can lead to lots of bigger things. Sometimes it'll go nowhere, and you just have to roll with it. That's life. That's business. That's how it goes. All right. I hope you found that video useful. Go ahead and let me know in the comments. If you've got some ideas or some stories to share, be sure to do that too. Okay, guys, I'll see you next time.